Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Tonight's one sheet wonder is using a 6x6. It is the One Horse Open Sleigh 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. This paper pack has so many scenic prints in it, I had to come up with some one sheet wonders where you will use the whole 6x6 on one card to create a scenic view. Now I did one last week. I have another take on that scenic view card this week. So let's change the camera and get started. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're going to be using the Horse and Sleigh stamp set. It is a bundle, and this is an online exclusive. The only place you can get it is online. You will not find it in any of the Stampin' Up! Publications. So that is available online, as is the paper pack. Now you can get a whole suite that comes with the paper pack, the bundle, and you're going to get the snowflake adhesive back snowflakes. So you can either get it in a bundle, everything, or by the piece. Now, like I said, this paper is beautiful as is. It has such gorgeous scenic prints, and I hate cutting up all that. So we're going to do a one sheet wonder I'm going to use this print. Hang on, because when we're done, I have some more cards to show you. I'm going to use this print, and then I'm going to use this one in a little bit different way, but we're going to be creating a one sheet wonder, and I call this a double Z-fold, gatefold, scenic card. So that's a mouthful, but we're going to come in with our One Horse Open Sleigh paper, and we're going to cut. You can either cut 3/4 of an inch off the bottom or the top. Now let's see, I like to have a little bit of that snow. I don't know which way. I have not used this print, so let's see. I think maybe I'll cut off the top, and so I'm going to cut that at 5 1/4. So we're going to use this strip. You can use either side, but we're going to use that strip. So now we're at 5 1/4 by 6. We're going to put it in here, and we're going to cut it at 4. And then we're going to take this little panel here, and I want to cut it at 1 7/8. I'm just going to cut off a little bit. This is the piece we won't be using. This piece we're going to be using just about all of it. We're going to use 4 inches of that. We're not going to use this piece. So not a lot of waste. It is a one sheet wonder, so you don't have a lot of waste. Now, to create this card, you're going to need a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I am going to be using the Early Espresso. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 and you're going to cut it at 5 1/2. So I've already done that. So I have 2 pieces that are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. We're going to put it in our trimmer here, and we're going to score it at 2 1/8 and at 4 1/4. And you're going to do that to both of your halves. So 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay, that's all our cutting, that's all our scoring. Now you're going to take this and you're going to fold it in half at that 4 1/4 inch score line. And then you're going to fold it back, so you're creating a Z fold on that 2 1/8. So just like that. Okay, you're going to do that with the other piece as well. So you're going to have 2 the same. Score that. Take this, flip that back, and burnish. You want to make sure you get your score lines nice and creased. So now you have 2 that are identical. You're going to take one and flip it the other way, and you're going to sandwich them together. Now I have quite a big little crack here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my trimmer in here, and I'm going to trim off ever so slightly, like an 1/16 inch, I should say. just off the side of that one, like that. So now when I sandwich that in there, we're going to line that up so we should have perfect placement. Still has a little bit, but not as much as it was. And then you don't have to worry too much about it being too tight. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to flip this one over. I'm going to use the liquid glue because I want a little wiggle room when I assemble these two pieces together. All right, so you're going to just tuck this. We want to keep it flat and straight in there. So that it is completely the same. They're assembled together. It looks good on the back. For the inside, you do have a little track here. Make sure that that's why you want to cut them identical, because so they line up going right across. So it's important that when you're measuring that 8.5 by 11, that they're the same. I have a little bit sticking up here and it's kind of sealed, so I'm going to just give it a little bit of a trim up. There we go. Now for the inside, I'm going to just take a piece of white, like so. I'm going to take that piece we cut off the bottom and I'm going to add that across the bottom. So we're going to match that up just like that. Looks like I can trim off a little excess. Now we're going to attach this to the inside. We're going to line that up like so. Close it up. This one here, we're going to attach on this side. And then the full panel is going to go on the front. So when it's closed, it'll look like this. And then it will, when it opens, you're going to view your whole scenic view there. So you can either do this side first or this side first. I'm going to do this right side. We're going to attach that to our panel here. Get that on there. Oops. Then we're going to close it up and we're going to attach this side. That looks good. So we're going to put our adhesive on this panel because we don't want to do it on the other panel, or we're going to just close our card up. So the liquid glue gives me that wiggle room that I need to match up that panel underneath there. See how nice that looks? And then you have your whole scenic view. So actually when it's sitting, it kind of goes just like that. So you carry your whole scene across. So then I took the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm going to use my favorite banners. And I have a white one here. And the sentiment I'm going to be using is wishing you a season of cheer. And this is from the bundle. It's the horse and sleigh bundle. And the paper is the one horse open sleigh designer series paper. So I have my sentiment. Then I die cut a smaller one with the early espresso, and I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put some adhesive on that center part. And then I'm just going to take my banner here. Quit moving. And attach it just like that. Extend that. I'm going to take some dimensionals. Put that across there. If you're like me and you don't like to cut up those gorgeous prints that they created for us, this is an awesome way to keep those all intact. Then you can either take the snowflakes, those copper ones are kind of pretty. Maybe I'll do that. So we'll take the smaller one, maybe we'll do these. And maybe I'll put one on my sentiment. Maybe I'll put one up there. And then maybe I'll take these rustic metallic dots and we'll put them in the center. So isn't that pretty? Look at that. You create the scene, you don't have to, and then it expands out so it gives you the whole 6x6 so you're not missing any of that scene. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to take this print and we're going to do it the opposite way. I haven't made a card yet with this print, but I think it will work just fine. So let's bring in our cutter. So I'm going to cut it off the bottom, I think 5 1/4, or do I want to cut off the top? I'm going to cut this at 5 3/8, and then I'm going to turn it around and cut it at 5 1/4, cutting off a little 1/8 of an inch. We can still use the strip on our inside piece. And then I'm going to cut this part, because this is the portion I really am going to be showcasing on the front, at 4 inches. And then I'm going to cut this at 1 7/8. All right, and then I'm going to take my leftover strip and I'm going to cut that at 4 inches. And then that, you will dump that. And then I got my, so I got my trees, everything matches on the side here yet. And then bring in my early espresso. We're going to score this at 2 1/8 and at 4 1/4. Do that with the second piece as well. So 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. I'm going to make sure that they're the same height. Looks good. And I'm just going to take one and just trim it just ever so slightly. And that's going to be my inside one. So let's fold that in half. We're going to fold this back. All right. Do the same with that one. Fold it in half. Match that up. Fold it back. See if we can match these up. I want like this, I think. All right. I think my fold on this one is a little off. It still will work, but I just try to fix that a little bit. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to wing this one. I would use the liquid glue, but I'm going to see if I can match that up. There we go. I did this one a little crooked. All right, so now we have our house, and it goes like this. So on this one, because of where our house is positioned, I think we're going to have to open it like this. So it might be a little bit different than what you are used to, but I would like to keep my image flowing the same. So just a little bit different. Let's give it a whirl. See how it goes. Like I said, I haven't done this one in this direction, so we will see. And now this one, whoops. Got my glue on. Oh. Matched up the side. I'm not too concerned about the glue at the top. That's what the adhesive eraser is good for, but I'm not liking how this is coming out here. There. Much better. So we have our scene. Oh, that's such a pretty nighttime scene. We're going to put this on the inside, put our little strip across the bottom. Trim off that little excess. Put this on the inside, like so. Bring in our sentiment. Now, covers up so much, so maybe I have a littler one. Maybe I have a smaller sentiment I can use. Let's see, joyful. That's pretty tiny. We could even go with something smaller. Die cut, which I will have to pull. I might do that. I'm going to come in with a little smaller die cut, I think. Now that I have a little sentiment, I can probably die cut this one, and I could put it either down here or up here. Okay, so let me grab my die cut machine and get that die cut made. Let me grab that. I'm going to just run it through here a sec. Yes, I do own, oops, sorry. Yes, I do own an electric die cut. I have problems with my wrist, so that helps me a lot. All right, so we're gonna See if I can't get that on there. Joyful. I probably had my big fat head in the screen again. So that could go up here. We could put it down here. Not really sure where I wanted to put that. And then, you know what? I don't know if I like that white color. Maybe I would do like a lemon. Ooh, yeah, I like that better. Or, this is what happens when I'm not prepared and I'm winging it. I could put a little banner strip. That would work, because then I'm going to bring out the white from the lights and that yellow still. So that looks pretty cool. I'm going to just put that, and we can do a little bit longer because it's a little shorter, and put that up there, or we could put it down here. Decision. I'm going to put it up in the top corner. Going to pop that up. Got my little mini dimensionals here. Put that right up here in the corner. Now I brought in a bunch of different gems and things. I kind of like the sequins are pretty too. I kind of like the rhinestones just because it brings that sparkle. I'm going to just use the tiny ones, like the sparkle and the lights. One got on my cute, cute, cute. All right, so that is your one sheet wonder for tonight. It is using that whole 6x6. This one opens this way just because of the way the print was. Using that whole 6x6 to create your card. Here's the other one that we did, and this is the other direction. And then I got a couple more prints from that same pack. We got this one right here with the fence. So pretty. Use up that whole one sheet wonder, and this is another one. I used the Early Espresso on all of these Designer Series paper pieces. On this one, I colored my rhinestones using my Cherry Cobbler blends just to pick up the red in that card there. So aren't they fun? Love that when you can use that whole scenic picture on your card. And it's basically your card front because it will stand just like that. So you carried that whole scene through. So that is it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this one sheet wonder and that you'll give it a try. If you need any of these papers or the bundle, like I said, it's an online exclusive only. So I have the link to these products under the video. It will say show more. Click on show more. I have the list of all the supplies that I use for tonight's one sheet wonder cards. I do appreciate any and all orders. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you click on that bell in the right hand corner. Follow me, give me thumbs up, leave me comments. I like it all. That is it for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.